All right, we are back, everyone. And next up, we have an
So I would like to know what name to actually start with.
I thought Dex just gone AFK, forgetting about it. I can check.
No, he just unmuted.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm here. What happened?
Is there audio down or something? Was there audio down? I'm not quite sure.
It went down for a second, but it's good now.
Yeah. Whatever.
Okay. Do you want me to reintroduce you in case? Okay, you guys, in case you missed out on what's happening right now, we are having an all achievements Dark Souls Remastered run by Catalyst. Kata, there you go.
Yes. So thank you again for the introduction the second time, Deck. Welcome everyone to my possibly last ever all achievements run that I'll perform, but never say never. I managed to reach my goal of under 2 hours earlier this week. So this is going to be a nice farewell, I think. And I believe we had an incentive, a bid war for the name of the character. So please, Deck, let me know what we should be called.
All right, so the name that won, I'm gonna tell you right away. The name is Franker Z.
Damn, that's very cool. I don't mind that name
Very
at all. All right, so besides Franker Z being our name of choice, we will start as Thief with the pendant, which can be quite peculiar looking, I suppose, but it will allow me to trade it with Snuggly, and I'll get the Souvenir of Reprisal, which is a Covenant item, which then I'll dupe later on. So it is important to start with the pendant. And then I'll start very slim because, you know, doesn't cover as much of the screen. I think we can get ready on the time in 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, so this is Dark Souls Remastered all achievements. There are 41 achievements that we are going to be collecting. The main one of them that this entire run revolves around is Knight's Honor, which is essentially collecting pretty arbitrarily selected rare weapons. And there are some that have a random drop chance from enemies, so we'll actually see how it goes. So this run could go overestimate. It might also go underestimate. If the farming's gonna be really, really bad, I'll just end up, obviously, I'll just end up giving myself the weapon so that we do not delay the marathon too much. But yeah, because I don't start with black fire bombs, as I did yesterday, I will proceed to not kill Asylum Demon just yet, and I'm actually gonna do it a little bit later on, after I talk to Oscar. I'm gonna get the bandit knife though, because I do need a weapon to perform that. So here I'm gonna do a cool little thing. I'm gonna trigger the boulder and then I'm gonna go ahead and open up this shortcut. The reason for that is because I'm gonna be coming back later to Asylum, and this shortcut will allow me to access Oscar earlier. I talked to him here. And I'm not sure if you guys were able to see the achievement on screen. Please do let me know, because if not, I will fix that very quickly. All right, let's get around these hollows. Good RNG, didn't get any blocks there. Very cool. I'm gonna go ahead and plunge him. I don't go for the double plunge that you can do here because it's barely, like, it basically never happens with a bandit knife. It's too small. I'm gonna try to get behind him and then do a flurry of 200 attacks for maximum DPS here. Don't think so? Alright, that will be a quick fix. I'll just have to think about a place where we can do that. I just need to tick something in OBS so that you guys see the pop-ups. Alright, so that was Asylum. Now I will proceed to go to the Firelink Shrine. And after the Firelink Shrine, I will go to the Undead Merchant. And at the Undead Merchant, I will conduct some business.
I can pause the timer if you want to quickly do it now.
All right, yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Should be very, very quick. Game capture and capture third-party overlays. Let me just pop chat back up. And if you guys see this Alt tab, or I should say Shift tab, then everything is good.
Yep.
All right, perfect. Let's go. So I'm gonna run through here. I don't have a shield, but that's no problem because I have the hilt, so I can block with the hilt. Get comfy rolls out of sprinting. All right, awesome, guys. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate it. So first, before I actually talk to the merchant, I'm gonna perform the first big glitch of the run. I'm not gonna sweat explaining it too much since you're gonna see it a couple more times, so I'm also going to, I'll have some time to explain it later. So I'm gonna pick up this soul and I'm essentially gonna dupe it. I'm gonna be able to pop it 99 times, even though I only have it once. That will get me enough souls so I can purchase everything that I need from the undead merchant. So this is how the dupe looks like. I'll explain it in detail in a little bit later on. I'll purchase some consumables here. And I also purchase arrows. I purchase the bow. I purchase a shield. I purchase the scimitar that I can use now in the early game to fight the first few bosses. And I'm gonna do a little lower berg skip here. I'm gonna jump on this railing and quit out. Hopefully the game stored my position on the top of the railing and I'll be able to just use the hilt to plunge myself to the bottom. Or that's the plan anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and heal up just to make sure I'm at full health. Because it can get a little bit nasty here. As you can see, I already got wrecked by one dog. I'm gonna quit out to reset the enemies this time around. And I'm gonna free Griggs. This is why I'm going to Loverberg, because not only do I need him for achievements, but I also want to be using sorceries in this run, so we'll be purchasing them. So Griggs skip there allows me to open up the door without having to go through the dialogue. It's basically just me positioning myself outside of the range of the dialogue, but inside the range of being able to open the doors. I'm gonna try to run away from these dogs. And again, I'm gonna quit out to reset them back to their default position, just so that they do not actually follow me all the way to Taurus and murder me. That would not be cool. Ask this guy to get out of the way, like so. I'm gonna heal up again, just to make sure that nothing gnarly happens. Because you never know with this game. You can do like thousands of attempts and, you know, out of those thousands, there's gonna be a few where something goes awry. And this is a marathon, so there's a good chance it would have been, it could happen here. All right, I'm gonna pick up the gold pine resin, jump over this barrel. And as you can see, I will be using the scimitar now for Taurus Demon, the second boss that will be killing this run. Need the gold pine resin. Arrows we can equip later, whatever. Let's first get rid of this dude. So I'm gonna do 2 attacks. I'm gonna do a third one after dodging, and now the fourth one's gonna stagger. So I do 3 more R1s and finish with an R2. And there you go. So that was pretty quick. Very nice. I'm gonna pick up the second soul because again, I will be using some souls to purchase things from Griggs and also to level up. If you watched my run yesterday, I'm gonna basically perform the same procedure here for Hellkite Drake. Again, don't want to get burned to a crisp, but I also need the Drake Sword. Not to kill anyone, but you need the Drake Sword for the Knight's Honor achievement. So I'm gonna bait him with an arrow, apply the resin, and this is where things can get a little bit bad in Remaster. Hopefully they don't. Because as you can see, okay, that was really chill. As you can see, one of the hollows survives on Remaster, while he doesn't actually survive in the Prepare to Die edition. The guy with the spear, and I can get wombo comboed by both the arrows and the spear guy, so fortunately that didn't happen. I'm gonna be running to gargoyles now, so that's why I equipped the shield in my right hand and hilt in the left. The hilt in the left is so that I can block and get a roll out of sprinting, and the shield in my right hand is so I can push enemies out of the way if necessary. Nice AI. First though, I'm gonna activate the shortcut because I will need to go back to Asylum like I mentioned earlier, and this is how you do it. And I also obviously will use it when going away from Firelink. All right, let's see how Hollow Room goes. Hopefully it'll be chill. All right, no jump there. Get around this guy here. All right, great. Equip the scimitar, equip the shield. I'm gonna do some reordering here. I'm also gonna equip the fire bombs, which I purchased. Because if the game allows me, I will maybe use a firebomb, you know, my trademark firebomb strat in this fight as well. But that will highly depend on the RNG we get on gargoyles. I don't need the tail cut here, but I'll do it because I got this opener. So I get a stagger. One more hit, regen stamina. This will stagger. Firebomb. Again, I use the firebomb so that I can attack and stagger while my stamina is regenerating, because throwing the firebomb doesn't actually cost any stamina. Wait for a stagger again, and that's gargoyles. That was great. All right, cool. All right, now more menuing. You don't have to worry about this too much. I'm just reordering things for later. This is one of the few runs where menuing can actually really screw you up. If you mess up, it can kill the entire run because you'll be missing resources and stuff. So don't want that to happen. I also needed to put the homeward bone here. And for the second time, I'll be performing the dupe. Again, I'll explain it in a bit. Because right now, what I need to do is I need to talk to Oswald downstairs. And I'll be performing a prom swap, but I'll be performing a special kind of prom swap. I will essentially purchase an invalid item with an ID that is shared with a different item. So I'll do it slowly so that you guys can actually see. So what I'll do is a remaster special, and I'll prom swap to the spell slot from ring slots. And as you can see, I can purchase an item that's nothing. So what ends up happening here when I press purchase, I purchase an item. And because I swapped from the rings, from the Bloodbite ring, what ends up happening here is I purchase an invalid item with the same ID, okay? Luckily enough, there is a corresponding consumable with the same ID as the ring, and that consumable is the Eye of Death, which is super convenient because I need the Eye of Death for Nito's Covenant. And as I pointed out earlier, anything that I can actually obtain once, I will be able to dupe. So I don't need any more Eyes of Death to level up Nito's Covenant, which is great. Wait, where's my Eye of Death? Did I not get it? I might have actually just cancelled the purchase. Which is kind of concerning. But it's alright. I'll probably just have to give it to myself later. Or I can try to farm it from basilisks, but that's not really something you'd want to do. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's no big problem. Yeah, I must have messed up there. I probably didn't purchase it while I was trying to explain it. And I pressed cancel instead. Right now, I cannot go back and purchase it again because I won't be able to click on the empty spell slot anymore. So I pick up these items here. They are, again, for the Knight's Honor achievement. If you're wondering why I'm picking up any gear, essentially it is mostly for... It is mostly for the Knight's Honor achievement. I also get the soul there because, again, I will need more resources to purchase things with. It's nothing to do with muscle memory. I performed everything well, but I clicked cancel because I was explaining things. Anyway, I will also, while I'm here, go ahead and pick up the red tearstone ring, which will be absolutely vital for the rest of this run. The red tearstone ring, while I'm under 20% health, it doubles my damage. Or even triples in some cases. What I'll do here is, again, I'll reorganize the menus a little bit. And I also equipped the Lloyd's Talisman, which puts mimics to sleep. I'll be using that twice in this run. Once on the mimic in Duke's Archives, once on the mimic in Sense Fortress. Okay, now it's time to deal with Griggs. So what I'll do is I purchase Great Heavy Soul Arrow, Ball Control, and regular Soul Arrow. And I also purchased the 2 rings and the Sorcerer's Catalyst. Now we'll be heading over to Anolondo. I'll do the Sense Gate skip, which is a big sequence break. But before, I'm actually gonna pop these souls 999 times. This is because I purchased the arrow. So essentially what I'm doing here is I'm using prompt swap to open up 2 menus. And then as you can see, I'm able to open up 2 prompts at the same time. And these 2 prompts allow me to manipulate the previously stored quantity into the used quantity, which is a remaster special because Prepared to Die Edition doesn't have a quantity selection when you're using a consumable item. So that way I'm actually able to dupe stuff, which is pretty cool. So right now I'll do the sense gate skip. Essentially what I'll do is I'll position myself in a very specific spot, and then I'll parry and riposte this dude. And as you can see, we get a little bit of a GTA 2 throwback by getting a top-down view. While this top-down view is active, nothing loads or deloads, and the start of Sense Fortress at this point is loaded, while the gate to it is not, which is obviously huge. So I'll be able to actually get to Sense Fortress without having to ring either of the Bells of Awakening. First though, I'm gonna take this bonfire and do some leveling. I'm gonna get 23 attunement, 11 strength, 45 dexterity. Dexterity is for casting speed. You do not get any extra casting speed past 45 there. And then I attune my spells, and obviously I level up as much intelligence as I can afford right now to get more spell damage. The reason I don't level up more is because I need some souls left over for dealing with the giant blacksmith. And now I'll just jump into Sense Fortress, quit out, which will reset the camera, and we are in Sense Fortress. The reason I can trigger the death cam without dying is because there's actually 2 different planes there. And one of them is the kill box, and the second one on top of it is the death cam, so they are not the same trigger. And the reason the death cam exists in the first place is to basically give you a more cinematic view when you like fall off of a platform or something. Here, because I will want to use more powerful sorceries, I will go ahead, and also because of achievements, I will go ahead and free Logan, but I'll do it in a little bit of a special way, okay? So watch this. We will jump towards this wall from the cage. The reason I do that is to get over a piece of ground that's unstable so it wouldn't store my position. This way I can quit out right next to the wall, and as I do, the stand-up animation of the chosen undead has destructive properties, so I just break the wall instead of having to deal with it a different way. I will go ahead and pick up the Soul of Hero. That's gonna be for another dupe later on. And we free Logan. And now we will proceed to Iron Golem, but first we will go ahead and get the Lightning Spear. Again, that's for an achievement. And we will also get a very important ring, and this ring will allow us to have better odds of dropping the items that we need. First I quit out though to reset the boulder, so I guess RTA maybe not faster, but whatever. And we will go ahead and break the wall downstairs as well in a peculiar way. And the way we do it is essentially by forcing our character between the boulder and the wall. Normally, you would have to get all the boulders to basically fill up this hole here. And only then the wall would break, but I can just do it with my own body. I get the ring, I'll jump back before another boulder hits me. I will use the talisman on this mimic, as I alluded to earlier. Get the lightning spear, and I'll do a little cool quit out here where essentially I'll be able to spawn on the elevator as it's going up, so I don't have to wait for it to go down and go up. I will go ahead and drink to get back to full health. And now, because I'll also need to progress Sigmar's questline, I'll turn this lever. The reason for that is Sigmar gives you a Emit Force, the Miracle Emit Force at some point. No, when it comes to farming drops, there are no exploits. I'll just have to go ahead and hope I get lucky. And if it takes too long, I'll just give the weapons to myself a different way. Because this is a marathon setting. Of course, in a legitimate run, you either get lucky or you don't. What I also need to do is I need to dupe humanities. The reason I want to do that is because not only am I going to be offering them to the Fair Lady to open up the shortcut in Isolate, but also to increase my drop chance, because up to 10, it scales up, and it increases my item discovery. And with the ring equipped, and with 10 humanities, I'll be capped at maximum item discovery. But we can do that later. I wonder what the drop chance is for the Eye of Death at the Basilisk. Get Bob out of the way. And now I'm gonna fight Iron Golem. The way I fight Iron Golem is very similar to what I did yesterday, except with spells. So I need to do 400 damage below knee level to make him stagger, and then another 200 to make him drop off. If I do this setup correctly, I'm gonna stagger him at such an angle that he's just gonna... Bye-bye. So that's the fastest way to kill Iron Golem. Very cool. And afterwards, I'm gonna head over to Anolondo. It's pretty good drop chance. Well, we'll see. I'll try to farm it up there in the Great Hollow, and if I don't get it legitimately, I will just give the Eye of Death to myself. Alright, so here, I will go ahead and get the Anolondo Bonfire. I want to be using it later on. And I mean, it's also nice to have the safety of it. The reason I can jump here towards it instead of just running up is because bonfires, funnily enough, bonfires with Firekeepers take a little bit of time to load. And jumping towards something is faster if the landing animation is irrelevant, essentially. Which, in this case, it is, because I would have to wait anyway. So here, I'll do the first case of Fall Control Quit Out. You don't really get to see it too well, because it's hidden behind the menu. But Fall Control allows me to delay the damage being dealt from a fall to me. I get a different splatter animation, and as that happens, I can quit out. The game stores my position on the bottom, but doesn't actually kill me on time. So that way, I can survive it, and basically survive almost any fall in the game. So now Rafters. Rafters are a little bit memey. So what I'll do is double shield to be able to push Painting Guardians out of the way. And I also have to break the Chandelier here because it has a sorcery. So I'll jump on it and take damage on purpose. This will allow me to set up RTSR for ONS, which is gonna be a pretty spooky fight. All right, he's approaching me. I'll just block it. Simple as that. And right after this, I'm going to be performing another Deathcam related skip, but this one's a little bit different. So essentially, the game here will try to kill me every single frame, and that's why I need Fall Control activated for the entirety of it. The initial fall damage I'll survive by using a glitch called air roll. Air rolling essentially is exactly what it sounds like. It allows me to chain rolls mid-air, even though I shouldn't be able to. In the remaster, it's very easy to set up. You basically need to be between 25 and 25% weight load. This is FPS related, don't really have time to talk about it right now. But it is yet another way of surviving fall damage. So we air roll like this. And the reason this Deathcam is different is because it's only one trigger. It's not two triggers like for Sense Fortress. And the way it is programmed is it activates the Deathcam, and then when you land on flat ground, the game's supposed to kill you. But thanks to Fall Control, that doesn't actually happen, and that's why you end up seeing this blue trail the entire time, because the game's trying to kill me every single frame. It's also a big reason why I have to equip the Lingering Dragon Crest Ring. It extends the duration of Fall Control, and as such allows me to actually keep it on for long enough to perform the skip. So what we're skipping here is actually this shortcut door that normally is closed. You even saw the prompt for it there. I should have maybe opened it, but whatever. And it allows me to get to Giant Blacksmith without having to run around the cathedral, which is very, very good. So here I'll purchase the Giant Halberd. Again, that's needed for an achievement. And I also need large Titanite shards and green Titanite shards. That's gonna be for having to upgrade like all of the different weapons and stuff. So very important. Okay, so coming up is the ONS fight. ONS fight with magic is quite something. So we'll hope that we don't get wrecked, because if we do, we'll be taken all the way back to the start of Anolondo. So I'll try to play it as well as I can. The reason it's so bad with magic is because Ornstein is a hoppy boy and can be jumping around quite a bit. So let's just hope that doesn't actually happen. That should stagger. Okay, one more. One more. One more. Okay, there we go. So that's Ornstein. Very cool, but the fight is not over yet. Can still get wrecked by Smo, but the chances are we will not. Because I'll try to basically bait him behind this pillar like so. And one more, and there we go. Okay, perfect. That's great. So this is definitely one of the scariest fights of the run. We'll go ahead and drop the items that I don't need. The items for the Knight's Honor achievement, you don't actually need to keep them in your inventory. You just need to obtain them once. So that means in order to have my inventory clean, especially for upgrading things at blacksmiths, I'll just be dropping stuff that I do not need. So here, normally, most people will be shooting Guinevere here in speedruns. I will do that in New Game Plus, because it's faster than talking to her. But there are achievements for basically discovering covenants. So I'll get the Lord Vessel, and then I also have to open up her Covenant menu. As you can see, achievement unlock, Covenant Princess's Guard. I don't need to actually join it, but I do need to at least discover it. So that is that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna warp to Firelink. And the reason I do that is to obtain the more powerful sorceries that I will be using. I go immediately back to Undead Parish. The reason for that is I want to also talk to Sigmar now to progress his questline. Again, I'll queue up arrows here, so that will allow me to select the quantity of 999 when I'm duping. And because as you can see, I only have 50,000 souls, I'm quite poor. I gotta print some money, so that's what we will do here. Additionally, I might as well dupe the humanities here while I'm here. So now we talk to Sigmar. I can skip, by the way, I can skip the dialogue really fast because I have the button bound to my mouse wheel, so I can just scroll my mouse, which is very, very neat. I'm gonna pick up these humanities because I just lost all of the previous ones and I want to use them later for duping. And I'll buy the Homing Soma Soul Spear, listen to Logan so that he actually moves on. And now we're gonna go ahead and level up some stats. So I think it's 16, 28, 30. Am I right? I think so. I hope so. We'll see. Worst case scenarios, I can like do a bunch of stuff. So the reason I'm actually confused is because I just started running all bosses again. And yeah, it's a little bit of a mess when it comes to, you know, the level ups and stuff because they're not the same. And I think we also passed 2K, which is fantastic. Thank you so much for supporting the great cause, guys. And we'll get to...
did.
Yeah.
We did. Do we have time to read the donations?
No, one second. We'll get to them very shortly. And there's gonna be plenty of time once we're farming, so don't worry about your donations, guys. They're gonna be read out. Deck will definitely have his hands full when it comes to reading donations. So here, I'm gonna clip on top of this ladder. I'm also gonna use the hill to get to the other side. I'm gonna cast full control to not take damage. I'll roll off here and end up entering the Capra fight. Dogs interrupting my spells. Very cool. And that's Capra Demon. Very cool. So if you're wondering why he wasn't activated, it's because his AI trigger is at the start of the fog gate, or by the fog gate at the start of the arena. And since I entered the fight from out of bounds, his AI never activates. So that's very cool. Now we'll be heading over to the depths. In the depths, I need to free Laurentius because I will have to get a Pyro Hand, and I also need to upgrade it and ascend it later. But first, we're gonna do a Kobe. There we go. Perfect throw. Freed him with a Firebomb. And what I'll end up doing here is I'll just shoot this doggo. I'll pick up this Titanite, sorry, this Ember, but before I do, I need to quit out because I need to reset the enemies. Afterwards, I'm gonna be heading over to Gaping Dragon. I need to get his tail because he's a dragon. So that is necessary for the Knight's Honor achievement. Ow, that hurt. Calm down. And while I'm doing that, yeah, we can go ahead and read some donations.
All right. So, as you said previously, we finally reached $2,000. More than that, actually. So, good job, everyone. And so we have donations. We have a $25 donation from Sugar Scraps saying, "This run will help me through the last boring hours of work. Thank you for a good start of my weekend." And we have a $100 anonymous donation, which just says smiley face.
Smiley face, indeed.
Smiley face. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, nice RNG. So what I need here is I need to get a slam from Gaping. This way, he's gonna expose his weak part, so I'll be able to get enough damage in before the fight essentially begins. There we go, that's the slam that I need. So I'll use the homing Soul Mass and Soul Spear that I purchased from Logan. I'll go to the side, he's gonna charge now. I'll do Great Heavy Soul Arrow, and after Great Heavy Soul Arrow, I'll have to wait a little bit for him to expose his tail. One Soul Spear, and there we go. We got the tail, we got the kill. Perfect. I'll heal up here, because I need to wait for him to die anyway, so it doesn't lose any time. And now I'm going to be heading over to Blighttown. Obviously, getting the key from Gaping allows me to open up this door. That's why I kill him. And I need to go to this part of Blighttown because I need to pick up the Yaito as well, which I will be using to ascending to ascend it rather with the boss soul. But first, another full control quit out. This one you'll be able to see very nicely. So just prepare a quit out. I splatter on the ground. I quit out before the game deals damage. I'll respawn at the bottom and be alive. Very cool. There are plenty of different ways to avoid fall damage. Very shortly, you're gonna see another one of them. But before, I will have to go back to Firelink, and the reason for that is to purchase another Soul Spear from Griggs, because I progressed Logan's questline, so he now has the Soul Spear sorcery available. And I'll also have to go ahead and upgrade my Pyro Hand. And the reason for that is so that I can talk to Quaylana. If you don't have the Pyro Hand upgraded right now, I wouldn't be able to actually see her. So we go to Laurentius. Again, I'll scroll through his dialogue with the mouse wheel. Get the Pyro Flame. I have to purchase these two sorceries, and now we upgrade. This is something you'll get to see a couple more times. There we go. Now we go to Griggs. Get the Soul Spear. And once we do, we don't need him anymore. But we technically do. We still need him for an achievement. I also get the Oral Decoy because that is necessary for the sorcery achievement. So there we go. He's dead now. I'm gonna get the Hush Spell and also SDR. So there you go. There's an all sorcery achievement, so I need to pick up all sorceries throughout the run. This is gonna be another big full control quit out. I need to get to the bottom of Blighttown as fast as possible. And here you're gonna be able to see me basically roll off of a slope. Because I'll be running on a slope, I never go midair, and the game thinks I'm always on the ground, so I'm just able to roll. And if I time my roll exactly when the game tries to deal full damage to me, the invincibility frames from the roll allow me to survive. So very, very cool. So now we head over to Great Hollow. The Great Hollow is mainly necessary because of the Stone Dragon. Again, it's a dragon, so I'm gonna need his tail and also to discover his covenant. But before, I'll try to get the Eye of Death here from the basilisks. So we'll see how that goes. Haven't actually ever farmed it, because like I said, you can get it from Oswald, but we messed it up. First though, in order to get through here, we need to do some drops. With full control. Pick up this Titanite chunk. As I said earlier, I only need to get everything once, because then I'll be able to dupe it as many times as I need to. So that's also a big reason why I'm just gonna need like only one Titanite slab and stuff like that. Okay, I got this blue Titanite chunk. I have no idea if Oh, hey, that was fast. All right, well, that was the easiest eye of death of my life. But now I'm confused where I actually need to plunge to get to the bottom. So I'll try to do it here. All right, no gadget needed so far. That is very cool. Whoa, 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 whoa. Calm down, big mushroom. Not my fault that your child there fell on his arse or face, I guess. All right, so now there's gonna be just a bunch of running through Ash Lake. What I need to do is I need to pick up an item here. But other than that, of course, there's the big scary Hydra, but hopefully it will be calm. And because this is just a bunch of running, I think I'll take a little break. And I think, Deck, if you have something to read, this would be your time.
We actually do have something to read, so we have another donation. We have a $7.77 donation from Anonymous saying, "Ahoo."
Ooh.
Ahoo. And I guess since we're running, I just wanted to remind you guys that we are raising money for Save the Children, and I wanted you guys to know that the money goes to the mission in giving children a healthy start in life, the opportunity to learn, and protection from harm. So you're doing an incredible job, everyone. Thank you very much.
Indeed, this is a great cause. Like I said yesterday, this is a very special time of the year for the entire community, and we appreciate you all joining and donating towards a very charitable and great cause, like I said. So here, I'll do this little drop on the log. Make sure that I walk, because I don't want to actually fall to my death. That would be pretty bad. I don't even know what item I pick up here. Let's see. It's a miracle. Very cool. I'm gonna have to quit out, though. This is to reset the Hydra. Otherwise, I would get wrecked. So we don't want to get wrecked. And now there's going to be just a bunch more running, essentially, to get to the Covenant. This is a very lovely area, but it's a little bit too empty, unfortunately. Some people really like the soundtrack and the aesthetic. I think I agree. I don't think it looks bad in the remaster either, because a lot of the lighting or lighting rather, in remaster compared to the original game is a little bit kind of bleak. Kind of misses contrast and stuff, but this area particularly looks quite alright. So the one thing you will notice that I haven't explained yet is I'm toggling my catalyst a lot, or just toggling weapons in general. The reason for that is it essentially allows me to start sprinting a little bit faster. It doesn't save much time, but I would assume over the course of the run, I'd probably save like 6 seconds or something. Completely irrelevant in a run like all achievements, simply because farming will determine like quality of any run. But it is something to do while running around, especially in these sections. It's at least, you know, keeps my hands going a little bit. So we cut the tail by not missing it. There we go. And I also discovered the Covenant there. So we got the achievements we needed there. We will cast Full Control again, because we'll be getting to the Blighttown to the bottom of Blighttown one more time. But before that, I need to obtain Power Within, so that's what we will do here. We'll kill Prince Izolith, as this creature is called in the game files. Get Power Within, and now some parkour time. So we drop here, Full Control quit out on this little branch. Or not really a branch, just wooden construction, whatever the heck it is. Now Blighttown reverse parkour. Get an item here. And another Full Control quit out to get to the bottom of Blighttown. Then we will go ahead and talk to Quelana. We'll purchase the pyromancies that we need, and then the same way we dealt with Grix, we're also gonna deal with Quelana. Because unfortunately, she has a pretty long quest line if you want to get her last pyromancy. And you can also get it by just, you know, getting rid of her. So that's what we will do. So purchase all of the pyromancies. We will also ascend our pyroflame. I think I ascended it. Yeah, I did. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. There we go. Get rid of her. This is important because we will go ahead and trade that ascended pyro hand with Snuggly. And that will get us a red titanite slab. Normally, getting the red titanite slab would be necessary to do here in Lost Isolate. But obviously, it's quite a bit faster to just trade it with Snuggly, because I'll be trading the pendant, the starting gift anyway. So here, I will go ahead and get myself a new hairstyle. Well, not yet, but this is the basis for it. I'm gonna attack the Ingi, and I'm gonna go ahead and get infected by him. This is for the Pyromancy achievement. Unless I'm infected, the Angi by the Fair Lady is not gonna actually want to sell me anything, because he's a bigot like that, I suppose. So now I'm gonna fight Quelag and ring the second bell. This is important because I need Frampt in order to perform the duping. So I will try to hit her human part to stagger her like that. I got a counter hit there, so that's lovely. But yeah, I need to awaken Frampt as soon as possible, essentially, to go ahead and do some duping. Because I'll be duping the materials and the Covenant items with him. Not just yet, but yeah. Also, there's an achievement for pulling this lava, I'm pretty sure. That the second bell also has an achievement. There you go. I'm gonna take this Daughter of Chaos Bonfire, though, because I'll be returning to Isolith later. And as such, I want to be able to warp here with the Lord Vessel instead of having to run down here again. So I'm gonna attune my second Soul Spear that I purchased from Griggs. And we're gonna go back to Firelink Shrine to go ahead and place the Lord Vessel. Again, I'm just keeping my inventory clean by dropping some of the items that I picked up or obtained for the achievement, for the Knight's Honor achievement, but I don't need to keep them in my inventory, so just gotta keep it clean. So now we place the Lord Vessel with Frampt, because like I said, we don't actually want to alienate him. That would be pretty bad. Should probably place this to the top. So now I'll be heading over to Anolondo and to Duke's Archives this time. First, I'm gonna go ahead and get the Crystal Halberd, however, which is done by killing this Mimic. So first, I will actually kill these guys because I don't want them to kill me. And then 2 Soul Spears on the Mimic. And as you can see, I'm equipping the Covetous Ring. And that means farming will be coming up soon. Again, that ring allows me to cap out my item discovery along with 10 humanities, so that way we maximize the odds of obtaining the items that are random. Of course, I also had to place the Lord Vessel because normally there will be a Golden Foggate here. There's a way to skip it, but we don't actually do it during this run. There are 2 ways to do it, and if you watched Dan's All Bosses run last night in Prepare to Die edition, you probably got to see the Seamwalk version. So from here, I'm gonna pop another soul 999 times. Can also equip the armor here. And do the dupe. And now, this is definitely one of the more difficult parts of the run, so I hope I'm not gonna get wrecked, but I should have the pathing down relatively well. As you can see, these big channeler guys that are trying to kill me, well, they have this like big trident and you need it. So we'll be killing a bunch of them until it drops. And that could be fast or it could also be slow. Because the drop chance for that occurring is 4%. So what I'll do here is I'll do an up warp. Essentially what you can do, whenever I send the elevator upwards, you can see it is upstairs now. But when you reload the game, what ends up happening is it spawns in its default position, which is at the bottom. And I save my last stored position right next to it. And because it starts at the bottom and instantly moves to the top, it actually takes me with it. So this way I'm able to upwarp out of bounds here. And perform a full control quit out to get back in bounds. Yeah, you can speed up the farming by donating towards the charity. That's what I've heard anyway. Alright, second channeler here. These would still be counted as a 0 cycle. I need to go get the stroke magic shield. I won't be using it this run, but again, it's a sorcery, so we need to get it. Need to get all the sorceries, all the pyromancies, all the miracles. Nothing here. So we can try to go for a half cycle, which is the third channeler here. I prepared the Yaito there because the armor plus Yaito will be the perfect setup to get air rolls. So this guy didn't drop it either. So I quit out to get back to the other side. That is because the stairs are moving, so they are unstable ground, and as such, the game doesn't store my position on them. And I still need to turn them because... I'll have to run up them, basically, to farm the trident. So that's why. Alright, I'm gonna take this bonfire because I will have to return to it after I kill Seath. And also, I'll have to have it for the farming, of course. I attune Power Within, the pyromancy that we picked up. And now we'll get the magic falchion from the Mimic. We'll do it by putting it to sleep again with the Netherloid's Talisman. Like so. Now, on my way to Seath, I cannot just go ahead and beeline there. That is because I need to get the... There's the first egg hatch. Very cool. I need to get the blue Titanite slab. I also take a bunch of fall damage here on purpose to set up RTSR plus Power Within on Seath. And of course, Seath again is a dragon, so that means I'll actually need his tail. So we'll be cutting his tail as well. So for example, here I also take some damage on purpose. Get around this dude, and now do the so-called manly drop. To not just get to the bottom faster, but yeah, to take the necessary damage to, as you can see, set up RTSR again. You missed it. RTSR is a ring that activates when you're under 20% health. And it basically, depending on the calculations, it doubles or even triples my damage sometimes. So it's very important. I don't use it for all fights in this category, because it's just not really feasible sometimes to set it up, but we do use it quite often. And here we will get even more damage by combining it with Power Within, which Power Within, again, also increases your damage, but it's actually dealing damage to you. 1% of your max health bar every second. But thanks to the damage we will have, hopefully we will be able to kill Seath no problem, and then heal up before Power Within gets us. That being said, Power Within damaging us will come in handy in just a moment. But first, what I'll do is I'll quit out here before Seath. Quitting out before a bunch of boss fights. Not all of them, but I want to say the majority of them. Breaks their AI in some way. And on Seath, it is super useful for this category. Because he's basically going to start the fight by turning around, thus exposing his tail, which is exactly what we need. So I'll wait for him to turn around a little bit. Then I will shoot the crystal of invincibility. I'll probably also have to deal with a clam, which is not cool. For some reason, she didn't attack there. That's gonna make him scream. Like so. I'll apply Power Within. Cast the Soul Spear. Cut the tail. Get that. Okay, I have to play it a little bit safe. There we go. Just enough time to heal up afterwards as well. So we got the tail, we got Seath, which is important because obviously there's an achievement for him, as you can see. And that was that. Very cool. So now I need to go to Logan. Again, I need to purchase all the sorceries. And also, I want to use the crystal ones because they are OP, you know? They deal even more damage than the stuff that we have right now, so... We'll just go ahead and purchase everything. And then we get rid of him. I want to kill him from behind because his death animation is a lot faster that way. So that's a neat little thing. And yeah, well, now it's time to do some farming. So essentially, this is like the only time where I can actually go ahead and get the trident. So this is where you do it. So most of the runs, if you're doing attempts, you're gonna play the game for about 40 minutes and then get to this part and hope that you are lucky enough that you can continue. Again, I'm capped with my drop rate. Even if I had the symbol of avarice from the mimics, well, first of all, I wouldn't be able to equip it simply because, you know, I have the egghead. And second of all, it doesn't stack with the ring. And third of all, I'm already maxed at item discovery value of 410. It doesn't go any higher. So let's see how many cycles this takes. Of course, deck, this is where you can plug whatever you have to plug.
Perfect. I was actually about to ask, because we do have quite a few donations here. So we have a $20 donation from Tatters saying, "Cheers for keeping me going at work after some not so good days this week. Good luck on the runs."
I hope whatever's troubling you gets better. Thank you for the donation.
And then we have a $10 donation from Anonymous saying, "Glad to see my countrymen support such a good cause."
Yo, cheers. Thank you.
And then we also have another $20 donation from T-Sod saying, "Yay."
Yay, indeed. Just to
Can I have some
reiterate,
yays?
the reason I have the egghead is to obtain the pyromancies from the Yankee, otherwise he wouldn't talk to me. Tractor simulator, yeah, that's basically what this is. Normally, in my own attempts, I basically took about a 4-minute time loss max over, you know, getting a good job. If it was more, it would not be acceptable. And that's especially true because coming up after this is the prison section. And then after the prison section, we essentially have to go through another farming section for Silver Knights. But if you get past the first two, you basically have a beeline to the end game where you have more farming, but that's okay. Again, as I said, if it takes too long, I'll go ahead and just give myself the weapons because this is a marathon setting. It's about showcasing the run. It's not about the purity, you know what I'm saying?
If you don't mind, I would like to take some more of your time.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So we have another donation, a $5 donation from Crowbando saying, "Here's some bucks to boost the drop rate. Good luck on the run, and you're nailing it, Kata."
Yo, thank you for the donation, Crabando. Much appreciated.
And also, while I'm still here, I would like to give a shout out to our Brazilian restream. You can find them at twitch.tv/speedrunbrazil. Thank you so much, guys, for doing this, and thank you so much for sharing this amazing event with your community.
Bora Brazil! So I actually am half Brazilian, or at least that's what my chat told me. So I will have you know that today I haven't had a franguinho, which is a chicken. Instead, I actually had a fish for lunch. I also didn't have broccolis, which, well, that's broccoli. That's a simple translation, right? Normally I have it. I actually had a different vegetable mix. And I didn't even have rice, which I'm very known for. I had spaghetti instead. I had noodles with my fish. So very exotic lunch for me. Let's put it that way. But yeah, because what we call Kata Classic is chicken, rice, and broccoli. I learned how to say chicken. I learned how to say broccoli. And I also know how to say rápido, which means fast, and then obrigado, which means thank you. So I basically am kind of like, I'm ready to go to Brazil with my Portuguese skills. But yeah, thank you. That's great. It's awesome to actually have someone, you know, take care of that, restream the marathon, because there are definitely pretty big communities in speedrunning, like the Brazilian community, like the Russian community, for example, which just do not have, or the Japanese community, which are a little hidden behind a language barrier, essentially, at least partially, right? So having people restream this in their native tongue, being able to bring more eyes on the runs, on the runners, and on the community as a whole, it's just great. It's great to see. All right, I'm gonna give this, I don't know, let's say 3 more cycles. Okay, 3 times the charm. So we do 3 more cycles, and then I'm just gonna give myself the trident so we get to move on.
That sounds good. And while you're at it, I guess I'll read another donation. We just got a $200 donations from Don Hachi, excuse me if I mispronounce it, saying Dark Souls 2 all achievements.
That's an amazing message, of course. Yo, Hasi, thank you so much for such a generous donation. I hope you've been enjoying the major in CSGO. Of course, if you guys are not aware, there's a CSGO major happening this weekend on LAN after a very long time. But yeah, thank you so much for the generosity. And yeah, Dark Souls 2 all achievements. Just gotta claim it. It's there in my channel. It only costs about 8 million channel points. All right, so there's a second cycle. Also, as you can see, sometimes like I can toggle through the stagger of attacks. That's called toggle escape. And essentially when you're toggling a weapon, so that means equipping it and unequipping it, that's gonna take priority over any other animation in that moment. So even if I should get staggered by a spell, it doesn't actually happen. So 2 more channelers, come on. I know you want to drop it. Or not. I guess the channelers haven't had lunch yet, so they actually need to use the trident to eat, I suppose. All right, so I'll just give myself the trident. Very quickly. Where do we have it? CH channelers tridents. There we go. So as you can see, I farmed the trident. Cool, we got it. So the reason I drop it and pick it up is because I need to do that. If I just give it directly to my inventory, it wouldn't count towards the achievement. So now we're gonna head over to the prison. First, I'm gonna get hit on purpose here, actually. And again, that is so that I take more damage and I can kill myself a little bit faster. Within the game, of course. I will do another upward, but this time I set it up differently. This allows me to upward, but inbounds, so I don't have to take the elevator, which is very cool. I'm gonna cast Soul Mask to get rid of this guy. He might be memeing a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Okay, block his attack. Soul Spear afterwards. Probably was worth to just wait it out, but his death animation is very long, so we'll just quit out. So here what I need to do is I need to pick up stuff in the prison, in the first area where you're supposed to encounter Seath, which we skipped. And what people don't know is you don't actually need to get killed by Seath in order to get to the prison section. You just need to die within this area. So that's what we're gonna do, because the prison has miracles that we need to get. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and get this Ember. I cast Power with him beforehand, like I said. That deals damage, 1% of my max health every second. I'm gonna, in the meantime, go ahead and pick up another soul. This is gonna be the last one that we need to do. Messed up there a little bit, should be no problem. Use it 999 times. I'm also gonna go ahead and drop the Moonlight Greatsword because I don't need it anymore. Perfect. So now we're just gonna be taken to the prison section. From here, we need to do, well, not the regular escape. We need to escape the cell first, so we poke this guy. One important thing, in order to keep my souls and humanities, I also use the Ring of Sacrifice, which I purchased from Oswald. And I will do a cool little skip here, basically jump a little bit out of bounds. And then try to get myself here, like so, and drop to the bottom of the prison as fast as possible. Now, these Picassos can be very troll heavy, so hopefully it doesn't happen, because I need to get the 2 miracles here, and if I have to quit out... Okay, good. I have the miracles. That's important. Don't interrupt. Okay, very good. So that's a very scary part, because if I have to quit out, because if I get grabbed, I will die. So I need to quit out. But if the miracles are on the ground, they're actually just gonna despawn. And it would basically be impossible for me to get them again. So fortunately, that didn't happen, which is great. And then they didn't interrupt my teleport away either, so that went really well. Here, I do the last level up of the run. What I do is I get Vitality. The reason I get this Vitality is for Lost Isolate. And also level up 25 Faith. The reason I have to level up Faith is so that I can actually rest at the Sunlight Covenant. Or, you know. Yeah, basically rest at it. But not really. You don't rest at a Covenant. So that's why I leveled it up right now. And as of now, I will still need souls for like upgrading weapons and whatnot. But I don't need as many of them anymore. So if I lose them, I can go ahead and find some souls somewhere and pop it 999 times and we'll be good. So, you might also be asking why I just went to Undead Parish and teleported away. That was not a mistake. Instead, I need to load Parish so that Zigmar moves on to Anolondo. Because like I said, I need to progress his quest line in order to obtain the Emit Force miracle from him, which is necessary for the All Miracles achievement. So, get familiarized with these Silver Knights. That guy is an archer, so he doesn't drop anything. But this is another farming section, back to back. We need to get all of their weapons, so that means we need to get the Silver Knight Shield, the Silver Knight Sword, and the Silver Knight Spear. Again, I'll spend some time trying to get it legitimately. If it doesn't drop, it will. Talk to Zigmar, get the Tiny Being's Ring. That's not important. What is important is to get him to move to Fouling. So there's another Silver Knight Howling here. We'll get him while we are upstairs. And essentially, I'm always gonna kill them and see if they drop the stuff. And if they don't, well, too bad. Trident was so good that I just found it on the ground. I used to do didn't drop anything either. Get this guy. And now we have one more dude here. And also get the Sunlight Medal. So the medal, the Souvenir of Reprisal, and the Eye of Death are all necessary to level up Covenants and get the spells that they give you. But fortunately, because of Framp Tubing, I'll be able to just, like I said, I need to get only one of them, of the Covenant items. And then I'll be able to dupe it and use it that way. No drop so far. No drop still, that's okay. So now what I need to do is I need to pick up Havel's gear here in the hidden room. But first I will go ahead and wreck this guy. To get the Occult Club, which is pretty neat because I can use the Occult Club to get both the achievement for leveling up the weapon, an Occult weapon, and then I can also revert it to a Divine Club and get the same achievement that is necessary for the Divine weapons without actually having to obtain a different weapon to do it with, so that's pretty neat. Is the echo bad? And probably see what I can do to fix it. Hey, there's a spear. Okay. So we got 1 out of 3. We still need the sword. And we also need to get the shield. The shield has a lower drop rate than the sword. And now I'm not going to be killing the spear guys anymore because I have the spear, so instead we'll be running upstairs. I just closed the doors. That's not the way you kill the Silver Knights. Ow! But I guess they can kill me through the door if they want to. Alright, I'll have a little bit of time to fix the echo once I'm in the catacombs, because we'll be taking a little bit of a nap. So it will be fixed shortly, hopefully. I think I know what to do with it. Ow. Fortunately, not only do I have all this extra vitality, 50 to be exact, but also all the level ups that I've done already give me passive resistances, or passive resistance, so I'm not actually taking as much damage. That being said, it will still be possible to die, of course, because not only am I going to be using the RTSR setups, but we also have to go ahead and go to New Game Plus in this run. And I want to say the New Game Plus part of the run is probably the most difficult. Because, of course, on New Game Plus, the enemies also deal a lot more damage, so... And because they can also survive a lot more... I need to be using Power Within and stuff, and... Yeah, things can get nasty. If you get hit, take a lot of damage, and then you have Power Within activated, which is also taking and dealing damage. I want to get at least one more drop. But we have a pretty lenient estimate, so... At least I think, anyway. But we'll see. I mean, of course, it's gonna be better to give ourselves the items earlier, and then if you have more time, we can farm legitimately in the late game. Because we obviously don't want to put the marathon behind, but we also don't want to finish too far ahead of time, I suppose. Even though we are slightly behind now on schedule, so it would be possible to put it back in check a little bit more. But yeah, definitely, the farming today, this would be a nice reset. Okay, let's try to get a double kill here. Or just like not hit either of them. Oh, he jumped out of the way. They did line up properly there, but... So that's kind of the Remaster special. The tracking of spells in Remaster is not the greatest, rather. So there are reasons why I'm sometimes manually aiming, like for this guy. All right, again, I'm gonna kill these guys and then do 3 more cycles for good luck. And if they don't get their jobs, we will find them elsewhere in my mod folder. I mean, what? Okay, hey, there's the sword. So let's do just 2 more, because we got the sword.
I suppose we do have a little time for donations now.
Absolutely, go for a deck.
Okay, perfect. So we do have a $20 donation from Infinity X2K4 saying, "Is it still a bribe if it's for the children? Have fun with the run today, Kata. Thanks to Speed Souls for putting on the event. Kata Jam."
Thank you so much, Infinity. I really appreciate that. Well, I don't know if the Silver Knights and the Trident guys, the channelers, have gotten the bribe. So far, it doesn't seem like it. But yeah, thank you so much. It's going to a great cause, so I don't think the money is being lost at all. All right, let's get these 2 lads. I actually don't know why I'm going upstairs when I only need the shield. I could have been killing the spear guys, which is slightly faster, but whatever. They didn't drop anything. And this dude also didn't drop anything. Well then, I suppose what we have to do is try to be a little bit crafty. And oh, there's the Silver Knight shield. Very cool. Thank you guys. Okay, so we got the Silver Knight stuff. Now we're gonna go ahead and go to Isolate. It's the Elden Ring crafting. Indeed. Okay, so we enter this covenant. We need to open up the shortcut. There's no particular reason at all why I offer 32. You need to get over 30 in order to open the shortcut and also get the Chaos Storm. Could you... Hello? What the hell was that? I even got infected just so he would talk to me, and he didn't feel like it anyway. Alright, so I have to get another Pyro Flame. Like I said, the other Pyro Flame, the Ascended one, I will be trading with Snuggly, and I still want to be able to use Pyromancies, so I will get this one. And now there's going to be a pretty cool strat, actually, of how to get the Ember here. So first, I'm going to go ahead and attune Flash Sweat, which is kind of disgusting when you think about it, but it gets the job done. That's what we need. What the spell does, or what the Pyromancy does, it gives us extra fire resistance. And normally, in order to survive running on lava in this game, you need the orange charred ring, which drops from ya boy Centipede Demon. Well, technically, first it drops from Ceaseless, because he's incompetent, and then he drops it. And then, surprise, there's like Centipede out of it. I'm gonna quit out first, because as you can see, there are Taurus demons in the distance. Quitting out gets rid of them. So yeah, they're gone now. And that's good, because they're not gonna bother me. So now with Flash Sweat, rolling, and proper pathing, I'll be able to go from one blind spot to another. And survive. So we pop a Humanity here to heal to full. Puts us to 68. And now after surviving this part, I can just run through here on the sides. I'll heal up one more time. Again, you saw that I picked up the Ring of Sacrifice, or equipped rather. That is to preserve my humanities and to preserve my souls. And as you can see, there's Ceaseless right there. You cannot actually damage him from down here. So it would be pretty cool if you could kill him, but you can't. What you can do is just steal the Ember directly from beneath him, though. So again, I keep on rolling so that the iframes give me always a little bit of time, extra time for survival. Get the Ember, die, but thanks to the ring, not lose anything. And now I'm going to be performing the Ceaseless skip, which is pretty cool, also known as the lava skip here. Because you're supposed to kill Ceaseless to get rid of this lava and progress through the area, but that's slow, so we're not going to do it. Again, Flash Sweat will help with that. And essentially, this is just abusing blind spots. Rolling from one blind spot to another, trying to not take as much damage. But thanks to the health bar that I have, and thanks to Flash Sweat, I should be just fine. Alright, well, that was kind of close. I took more damage than I would have wanted to. I'll have to heal up, but that's fine. Good thing is that Capra didn't murder me there. But he is actually... Okay, never mind. He's gone. I was gonna say that he's trying to pursue me very fast, but he went a little bit too fast. And fell off, which is great. I'm gonna heal up here. The reason I do that is... Well, I would die from that fall damage there. So we don't want that to happen. I'll be healing up later as well, just in case something goes bad on Bed of Chaos. You never know in a marathon. So now before we progress towards the shortcut and towards Bed of Chaos per se, I have to get the other Ember here. I'm gonna kill these Taurus demons and I'll quit out. Now, quitting out is obviously real time, not very fast. Normally these runs are timed by in-game time, so quitting out is not as big of a time loss. But the problem is twofold here. Not only am I getting pursued, but they also take like 10 years to die. Their death animation is insanely long. So quitting out is usually better. There's gonna be these worms popping up with just proper pathing. They're not gonna bother me. And then I have to do another quit out because I need to reset them. So I quit out as I'm opening the chest, which at least salvages a little bit of time because I'm skipping part of the chest opening animation. Don't forget the Ember. It's happened to me before that I opened the chest, quit out, and then didn't get the Ember afterwards. So now we are going to be heading over to the shortcuts. And while we do that, I think this is a perfect time to read some donations or plug something.
It is indeed a good time. We do not currently have any donations, but I wanted to remind you about one of our sponsors, and one of our sponsors is Insert Coin Clothing. Their leading name and video game inspired t-shirts. They have generously provided us with 10, 20, and 50-pound vouchers to give away during this event. But of course, that is not all. They have also provided us with a partner code SPEEDIC20 that you can use on their website to get 20% off until the end of this year. You can get clothing, accessories, and so much more from all of your favorite games, so please check them out at insertcoinclothing.com. Thank you.
SPEEDIC20. All I see. Very cool indeed. Alright, so what I'll do here is I'll heal up to full. This is for extra safety on Bed of Chaos. Bed of Chaos should be no problem. But it can trigger a firestorm once I'm in the middle. And in case I got hit, I don't want to have to run all the way back. That would be pretty bad. Of course, I'm going to be utilizing the Talkie Bomb strategy, which I'm notoriously known for missing. First, I need to politely ask this guy to get out of the way. Thank you very much. Fortunately, because Remaster has usable mouse controls, what I'm going to do is just use the mouse and keyboard to throw the bombs, and as such I should be able to do it precisely and very swiftly as well. But first I need to go ahead and pick up another item here before Bed of Chaos. In order to not have to deal with the Daughter of Chaos here, I'm just gonna cast Crystal Soul Mass. Then get this vacuum cleaner out of the way. That's a Chaos Eater, but vacuum cleaner makes a lot more sense in my book. Get the Chaos Fire Whip. And now head over to Bed of Chaos. While I'm sliding down, I'm gonna reorganize my inventory a little bit. That is important for duping. I need to essentially make sure that the consumables and upgrade materials line up properly for front duping. I will explain what exactly that is in a moment, once it becomes more immediate. I have to move that slightly later. Okay, so go to the middle, throw 2 bombs to destroy the orbs. That's 1. That's 2. You can hear my keyboards. And now I'm gonna be rolling through here to get to the actual boss, which is this epic worm. This is the best boss in the game, obviously. So we punch it and it's dead. Very cool. Teleport away, and that's it. So now we should actually get the egg to hatch. There we go. The second stage of the egg hatches once you get 100,000 souls obtained from killing enemies. And because of all the farming and stuff, and of course killing Bed of Chaos here, we did get 100k. I'm gonna rest at the bonfire because I need to return here afterwards. Fram's taking a nap. Very cool. And now this is the time when I'm gonna head over to... back to Asylum. And the reason for that is essentially, since I'll be duping, I want to get the Titanite slab from Stray Demon. And I also need to get the Crest Shield there from Oscar anyway. For the Knight's Honor achievement, so we'll be doing that. First, I'm gonna clean up my inventory again while I'm pretending to be an egg. So by that I mean dropping all the stuff we don't need anymore, because we got it once. Which is enough for the achievement. Spear. This shield, I'm gonna put this to the top so I can offer it. And then these Twin Humanities. Did that actually switch? Let's see. Okay, perfect. So now we're gonna trade with Snuggly. No scamming. There are actually ways to scam the poor little crow, but first we'll just give her the pendant. For which we will get the Souvenir of Reprisal. Again, that's a Covenant item which we will proceed to dupe shortly. And then I will give her the Ascended Pyroflame. And through that, we get the Red Titanite Slab XD. Damn. Goodbye, Sass. Have a great rest of your day. Okay, so here we can actually get Oscar to be a footballer if he decides to jump around like a goalkeeper. He didn't. But he can start like rolling around and dodge all the spells, so sometimes that can be pretty funny. So we get the Crest Shield. Hopefully not get blocked here. Alright, cool. We actually managed to get past them, otherwise I would have had to quit out. So now we go ahead and kill Stray Demon. And after that we're gonna kill the first Black Knight while getting the Peculiar Doll, which allows us to enter the Painted World later on in the run. So again, because we'll be killing something that has a random chance to drop, I'll equip the corresponding ring. I get the slab. I move it here. And now we're gonna go ahead and proceed to do the first duping. Well, not yet. First we need to kill this guy. And return to Firelink. And essentially, I'll... Soul Mass is a great spell. Hey, Black Knight Sword. Very cool. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna place the items that I want to dupe into the bottomless box. That is absolutely necessary. That's how the duping works. And then essentially the way I can dupe it is if there is a way, which there is. Yeah, still mapping, so I'm gonna have to get here and quit out. If there is a way, which there is, to offer from more of that item than I have in the bottomless box, it's gonna end up duping it to the max stack. So just watch this. Boom. Slabs 99. Now we cannot see it. Now for the Covenant items, okay? Watch this. Cannot see it anyway because of the menu shenanigans, but I'm duping it, okay? I swear. You'll get to see it shortly. So what's happening there is, if you remember at the start of the run where I messed up at Oswald and I used the prom swap, I'm doing the same thing here. So essentially I'm pressing with a mouse, I'm switching a category of items, okay? And at the same time I'm pressing purchase on my controller. The duality of that allows me to perform both those inputs at the same time. The fact that there are two different ways to control the game like that. And what ends up happening is I take the offering prompt or the sell prompt or whatever you want to call it from one category to another. And I also keep the quantity from the original item. So that means if I have two items next to each other, and of one of them I have 3, and of the other one I have only 1, I'm able to go ahead and offer 3 of that item which I only have 1 of in the bottomless box. And that way the game's like, oh, he's offering more than he has, so he needs to have more, and it gives me the max stack. So as you can see, all 3 Covenant items, 99 of them, even though I only got them once. Only 1 souvenir, only 1 Eye of Death, and 3 Sunlight Medals. So now what I need to do is I need to go to Vamos. I mean, obviously before then, I also need to go to Nito, which is what we will do now, take a short nap. And I'm gonna go ahead and try to fix the small echo. Hopefully it will work. If not, well, I'll have to fix it for next time. So we take a nap, and until we get taken to Nito, Deck, you can go ahead and read out something, my friend.
Sure. Good luck fixing your echo. I don't know. We still do not have any donations. We're still waiting. But I guess I can talk more about our sponsors. And guess what? This year, we're actually sponsored by Xbox, who have generously given us 10 12 months Game Pass PC codes to give away this weekend. Now, when you think of Xbox, the console may come to mind, but with Game Pass, you can play many of those games in your PC console or even from the cloud. So, huge shout outs to Xbox for partnering with us. Thank you guys.
Very cool. So here we get the Nito's Covenant offer. The Eye of Deaths. You guys let me know if the echo is gone. I'm gonna equip the SDR here. The SDR basically just masks my footsteps. It might help with not getting some of these enemies to aggro. They probably will anyway, though. So after we've done the Nito stuff, now we will go ahead and go to Vamos. Vayamos compañeros, vamos, amigos. The reason we do that is I need to go ahead and upgrade some weapons, right? Because you can only offer certain embers to certain blacksmiths. You cannot give everything to everybody. So right now we would go ahead and use that time while we are here to, yeah, talk to Vamos. First, I'm gonna go ahead and reorder my inventory slightly. This is because I'll be upgrading the falchion and also the hilt, which I'm keeping from the very beginning of the run. MVP hilt. This will just allow me to access them faster at the blacksmith. But first, before I can get to Vamos, I have to pull this lever. There's actually a way to skip this bridge, but it doesn't work in the remaster because the remaster essentially deals damage twice as fast. And you're basically supposed to be able to backstep through it. But because the spikes keep on damaging you, if you have enough stats, you can survive. But in this route, you cannot do that. Because like I said, on remaster, it basically takes twice as fast. We get the Great Scythe beforehand, and now we just go ahead and full control quit out to Vamos' roof. And like I said, we'll be doing some upgrading. And then again, I don't need to keep the weapon afterwards. I just need to upgrade it for the achievement, and then I can revert it, I can drop it, I can do whatever. So first we give him the embers. Then I'll purchase more shards. There we go. So I get the fire weapon gear, I get the enchanted weapon, and then I revert the falchion to magic falchion. And I also revert the fire weapon to chaos weapon. And then I'll be upgrading those later on. Now, obviously everyone's favorite boss. We are heading over to Nito. But that's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the guy coming up. There's a bunch of stuff to do here in Tomb of the Giants as well. Get an ember. Pick up some spells, continue Rhea's questline, get an invasion, so a bunch of stuff to do here. Hello, Pinwheel. Goodbye, Pinwheel. Yes, that's the one, Wolfie. So because there's multiple things I need to do here, I will go ahead and get the bonfire, because I'll have to return 2 times. First, some nice pathing here around Tomb of the Giants. Obviously, this area can be quite annoying casually with the darkness and everything. But first, because I need to get the gear from Leroy, the NPC invader, I have to turn human to be able to get invaded. Then there's also patches, and you know how I treat NPCs for most of this run. Sorry, Sass, but there can only be one. We'll be cosplaying as patches a bit later on. Do a neat little jump. Kill another Black Knight, any halberds? Easy. So for these items, it's 45% chance drop rate. When I'm maxed on item discovery, which again I am because I have 10 humanities and the ring equipped. A neat little boost jump here, just some parkour. Hopefully not fall to my death. This particular drop is quite finicky in the remaster, but nothing went awry there, which is nice. So now I'm basically already getting invaded, so I just need to go ahead and wait. In the meantime, I'm gonna switch back to SDR, wait for him to spawn so he doesn't have iframes anymore. Spawn kill him like it's Call of Duty 3. Call of Duty 3 was actually insane. Played it on the PlayStation 2, and I remember as a kid I was absolutely taken away by quick time events being a thing. Like, you know, having to mash or press buttons to get out of chokeholds and stuff was insane. Not many people played Call of Duty 3 because it was a console exclusive by Treyarch. You didn't miss out on much, it wasn't very good. So here, there are other pinwheels because the boss is so good, it needs to be put in the game more times than just once. I have to get this slab here, obviously. Again, I only need to get 1 of each upgrade materials because I can dupe it. And then we're gonna fight Nito. Nito can be really, really chill, but if you get a bit unlucky with some screams and whatnot, it could get a little bit nasty because normally you have hidden body available, so the skeletons don't see you. But we do not have hidden body in this run, so I'll have to deal with the skeleton. So the goal here is to basically kill him faster than they can get to me. Which, so far there are no screams, so that should be possible. 1 crystal soul spear, another crystal soul spear, and a normal soul spear, and they are dead. Again, I'm gonna clean up my inventory a little bit while I'm waiting. I don't want these items to bother me there while I'm upgrading, and I only need to obtain them once. So we get the Nito achievement. Now the reason why I killed Patches in the first place, that was to get this Crescent Axe here. Again, it's for the Knight's Honor achievement. Basically, most gear that I get is for that achievement. Like most special gear. So now to progress this quest line, you have to kill the 2 clerics. Talk to Reash, gives me a miracle. And then she moves back to Undead Parish. So we'll have to visit her one more time. Now the last thing to do here in Tomb of the Giants is to go ahead and get the Ember. That's exactly what we will do. And after that, we will head over to Anolondo and Painted World. Which also has a bunch of stuff that we need to get. First though, this can be, well, it's fine if we quit out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the Ember first. Then I have to quit out. And then what is really neat here is the Slumbering Dragon Crest Ring basically also mutes my stand-up animation. So that the only skeleton that will actually aggro is the guy that sees me visually. The guys that are closer but are turned back do not aggro that way, which is really neat. Otherwise it would be quite problematic to get out of there. That is also because Remaster is a little bit special in how it loads compared to Prepare to Die Edition. Normally in PTDE, you basically load at the same time with the enemies, so when you quit out and you spawn in, the enemies first have to see you and aggro, but in this game, the enemies essentially load in before you do. And that way, as soon as you load it in, the enemies are already aggroed, so that can sometimes cause trouble, like in Loverberg, for example, at the start of the run, where I was dealing with the dogs and whatnot. Especially when freeing Griggs, that can be bad, but fortunately in this run it wasn't. So now, I'll be abusing another full control quit out to get to the bottom here, to get to the painting as fast as possible. I'll also equip the crest shield. The crest shield has better protection against magic, which will come in handy on Gwendolyn, potentially, and on 4 Kings as well. And it has the same physical damage reduction as the Dragon Crest shield, I believe, so this is why I swapped to the shield now. Enter the painting. I'll go ahead and take the bonfire, because again, I need to return to it. And then I'll go ahead and pick up some pyromancies and then head over to Priscilla, and while that is happening, you know what to do, Dick.
Yep, I sure know. So we actually have one donation. We have a $2 donation from an average beverage saying to Wowie. Thank you.
Thank you, Bev. Appreciate that. So cool little skip here. It's very, very simple. You literally just jump over that railing there. Do not have to run around and get to the bottom. These torch hollows can deal a lot of damage, but unless they actually like manage to give you their flurry of attacks with the torch, you should be fine. Now here, 1 out of a million, there's a chance I might get attacked by the bone wheel too fast and I might get destroyed. But it's happened to me like twice, so hopefully it doesn't happen. You can hear him aggroed, but he's not rolling, so that's good. Get this guy out of the way by killing him. That's a pretty surefire way to get rid of enemies that are blocking you. Get this bloated hollow, pick up the last pyromancy. As you can see, Bond of a Pyromancer. That's all pyromancies collected. Shame how his career turned out. I don't know, I think speedrunning is pretty alright, considering what happened with Call of Duty, or what was happening with Call of Duty back then. Alright, here I'm gonna do another cool little skip. So I'm gonna jump on this platform, or I should say on this wall, and quit out. The game stores my position there because I touched it for long enough. So I'll spawn up here, and this way I can go ahead and skip the annex key. Get the Volkas Rapier here. Again, that stuff is for the Knight's Honor achievement. Get this dude out of the way and quit out. The reason I quit out is because the crows are activated right now. And it would be pretty hard to actually pick up this next spell. Also, at the same time, the bloated hollow could block me there before he died, so it's better to do it this way. So now I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this shield. And then I don't want to deal with the... Oh, hello, crows. I don't want to deal with the undead dragon here, so I'm gonna do this neat little skip. Funny story, this was actually the first level that FromSoft designed for Dark Souls 1. And Miyazaki really liked it. It's like a prototype level, so he wanted to keep it in the game. And as you can see, there are some shenanigans with collision. And that way we are able to just get down here and head over to the final fight here in the area. Instead of having to get a key and then open up a door and whatnot. So on Priscilla, there's actually a bunch of stuff. Not only do I need to kill her for an achievement, but I also need to get her tail because she's a half dragon. This one's a little bit tricky, so I need to do a little bit of a setup. There we go. Let's see where she teleports. I can see because I got lucky with my lock-on. So I lock onto her, and if we are lucky, she's gonna teleport to a place... Like, she goes invisible, right? But if she teleports in a place that's within my camera view, the lock-on will just stay locked on and basically tell me where she is. Which was great. I pick up the Tarkus set there. Now the chandelier that we broke at the very beginning of the run when heading to ONS. That's for that sorcery there. Great magic weapon. Yeah, you can indeed if you want Priscilla. Even though I just disposed of her, you can get your own Priscilla at the merch store. And support charity as well at the same time. You can get some nice merch. and help save the kids. Here, I'm gonna put the Quelax Soul to the top. Again, I'll just be doing some reorganizing because we'll be duping the souls. Right? Because I need to ascend the boss weapons. And essentially, the way this achievement is supposed to work is you're supposed to go through several New Game Plus cycles. For example, Sif, you need to kill 3 times to get 3 souls of Sif so that you can get the 2 Great Swords of Artorias, the cursed and non-cursed one, and also the Great Shield. But, like I said, I'll only need to get one of them and then I can dupe it. So that's what we're going to be doing. So here's an illusory wall. If you remember how I freed Logan, I can do the same thing here. I jump from this little tombstone to get over unstable ground. And that way I can quit out right next to the wall, and the stand-up animation of the chosen undead has destructive properties, and as such, I can just destroy the illusory wall. Very neat. So here I join the Blade of the Dark Moon Covenant. Dark Moon Covenant, rather. And we give Gwendolyn the souvenirs. And now we're gonna go and dispose of Gwendolyn himself. So this can be a little bit of an RNG. Let's see what we get. I'm gonna use Soul Mass. Funnily enough, if I have to hide behind the pillars here, I wanna hide behind the pillars to the right. But first, I'm just gonna run through these Soul Masses because I have the Crest Shield. There we go. So I wanna hide on the right side there, because if I go to the left side, for some reason, 2 of my Soul Masses will actually get hit or hit the wall. While on the right side, I only lose 1 of them. And I need exactly 4 of the small Soul Masses and the Crystal Soul Spear to 1 cycle there. Yes, this is live. Incredible. So we get the miracle here. And now we're gonna head over back to Fouling. First, I'm gonna go to Rhea, though, and Rickard. Again, I'm gonna put the Gwendolyn Soul to the top so I can dupe it easily. I'm gonna put it in the bottomless box, because like I said, that is necessary for duping. And then also the remaining upgrade materials that I need to dupe. On this elevator, I will be again dropping some items I don't need anymore and reorganizing inventory so that duping works out. It's very easy to, if you don't do this correctly, to kill the run here, so you don't want to do that. Because if you get rid of the wrong item, if you don't dupe it, you've lost that upgrade material for good, and you have to like go get it in New Game Plus or something, and that will be a pretty bad backup. So here we talk to Rhea. We have to again discover the Covenant first, and then buy up all of her stuff. And then peace out. So now, finally, we get to talk to Sigmar for the last time. He's gonna give us the miracle. I need to make sure I say yes here, because if I said no, I wouldn't be able to get it anymore. And I'm gonna air roll down this elevator, so I'm going to Rickard now, because again, you can only give certain embers to certain blacksmiths. And because I need to basically get max... Oh, I didn't send the elevator upwards. That's fine. Still want to do the air rolls though, so... Let's do that. Very cool. Rip the Patches cosplay now. So yeah, we need to get like all the different types of upgrades essentially. So that's why I will just turn the Magic Falchion from +5 to +6 here. And then you can upgrade it elsewhere, and that's what I will do. But first, second round of duping. Here I'm gonna dupe the 2 souls, and I'm also gonna dupe the upgrade materials that I picked up. So it's like the white titanite chunk and white titanite slab. So first, Soul of Quelaag, Soul of Gwendolyn, and then from the Twin Humanities. Perfect. Again, I'm basically offering more of an item than I have that's already in my bottomless box. And that is duping it. So now, get ready for some jamming, because I re-equipped the wrong ring. That's fine. Because we'll be spending a decent amount of time here on Andre. And then we will wrong warp to the end, but I'll explain the wrong warp after I perform it. So we give him all the embers. Purchase everything we need for ascending. And here we go. Everyone's favorite part of the run. Especially my right hand's favorite part of the run. You need a certain level for the weapon so that you can ascend them to the boss weapons, so that's why. And on top of that, obviously, you can see I'm also getting some of the achievements from, like, for example, the occult weapon or the divine stuff and whatnot. Lightning there from the lightning spear that we picked up. I went to the gym today, so my right hand's kind of dying. I did some deadlifts, so rip my grip strength, I suppose.
Should we reanimation meanwhile?
No, give me a second, because I'll be performing the wrong warp. Alright, so that's everything from Andre. Now, essentially, I'm gonna perform the same wrong warp that I performed yesterday if you watch my any percent run. But because this is remaster, I actually have to do it a little bit differently and cancel out the animation. It's not the easiest thing, it's frame perfect. And then rest, and now we will be taken to the final area of the game. So I'm gonna be killing these Black Knights because I need more drops. We so far have the Black Knight sword and we have the Black Knight halberd. I also need the shield, the great sword, the great axe. And that's it. There's 5 of them. So what ends up happening there is essentially what I need to do is, as I'm getting warped to my last bonfire, that's second sword, can put that up for a giveaway. As I'm getting warped to my last bonfire, thanks to Homeward, I want to rest at a bonfire just before that happens, and that essentially corrupts the warp and allows me to wrong warp instead. Now, the wrong warp puts you to a so-called default position, which essentially is an arbitrary selected area by the developers. It's like a safe, fail-safe location. But it just so happens that they put it behind the closed gate to the kiln. So we are able to get from Fouling Alta behind the closed gate to the kiln, which is really, really neat. In Remaster, the animations basically don't work properly. Hey, third sword. Or I should say they are a little bit slower, essentially. Or the warp triggers faster, I should say. So I'm using a glitch called Spell Swap, and I'm casting Homeward, which has a really long animation with the animation of the Fireball, which would, in Prepare to Die Edition, be just enough. I would have a couple of free frames. 2, those are some great drops. If you're asking what drops, well, exactly. Essentially, dude, Homing Soul not such a good spell. Hey, there's the shield at least. So normally in Prepare to Die Edition, it would be enough to just cast Homeward with the Fireball animation. But in this game, that's not enough, because indeed, the animation or the warp happens sooner than you having a couple of frames to actually move around with the different animation. So I got a little bit lost there. And so that's why I need to jump on the railing and try to cast the fireball in such a way that I fall off the railing while activating homeward, but cutting the animation. So not only do I have to perform a spell swap, which is frame perfect, I also have to position myself correctly so that I cancel out the animation, not too early and not too late, so that I have enough time to actually, you know, rest at the bonfire, but also don't cancel it too early so homeward gets triggered. And then I need to make sure that I don't rest too soon, because if I did, it would just change my bonfire and I would respawn in Undead Parish. It would change my bonfire too soon. So yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff that goes into the wrong warp. You're gonna see it one more time. Hopefully it's gonna make more sense at the end of the run. Now that I've tried to explain it, I can probably do another explanation at the end without having to deal with killing Gwyn. But yeah, I kill all the Black Knights there. We got the shield, so we are missing the Black Knight Greatsword and the Great Axe. And then the way I killed Gwyn, you noticed I riposted him at the end. The reason for that is so that I can skip his death animation. If you kill an enemy with a ripost, they die instantly, and Gwyn has a very slow quit out animation. So here, I'm gonna break this with a quit out. It's the same way that I broke the walls for Gwendolyn and for Logan. And I'll be running through Undeadburg afterwards, which is something that we had already seen. So this is the perfect time to go ahead and read some donations deck.
Alrighty then, we do have exactly one donation. We have $5 from Psychotic Mnemonic saying, "It is awesome to see so many great runners do so many runs and really stack the deck here, not only for all of us viewers, but more importantly for a great cause. I love the Speed Souls community, keep it up."
Thank you. Stack the deck, hey? Get it, haha. Alright, so... by the way, just as a shameless plug, if you are really interested in how the homeward wrong warp works, I have a video on that topic on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/catalystz. But I'll try to do my best to explain it one more time at the end of the run. So, as I said earlier, normally, casually, you need to do at least 3 playthroughs. But thanks to the fact that we can dupe everything, I only need to do 2 of them. I need to do 2 of them because I need to get both the endings. And I also need to get both Ornstein's and Smo souls. So that means I need to fight ONS twice. And I also need to be able to offer Gwyn's soul to the Sunlight Altar and also ascend a weapon with it. So, out of the way, mate. So those are the reasons why I have to go to New Game Plus in the first place. I don't need to kill this guy anymore, because I mean we have 3 swords and the shield as well. Excuse me, sir. Alright, well he got out of the way, but it's quite a bit of effort. So now Taurus, boss that we saw, killed him at the start of the round with the scimitar. Well, now I'm a little bit more OP. Not that we had any trouble with him earlier, but let's just say that sorcerers are pretty good in this game. Nice block. Remaster special, blocking backwards. Thank you, Slavomir. Now again, to not get burned to a crisp with Hellkite or Bal Hellkite, I will go ahead and aggro him. But this time, I don't need to cut the tail since we already got the Drake Sword in the first run through. And yeah, you might be, you know, the reason I'm wrong warping is in New Game and New Game Plus is so that I don't have to do the same stuff twice, right? Like, for example, I would have to kill Sif in New Game and New Game Plus, essentially. And I also, one thing I forgot to mention, I need to talk to both Frampt and Kath, which normally isn't supposed to be possible. You're not supposed to have them friendly at the same time in one playthrough. So that's another reason I need to go to New Game Plus. And essentially because of the routing and whatnot, I want to do the stuff that I do in New Game, and then in New Game Plus, I don't want to repeat anything that I already did in New Game. So I will just do what I haven't done in New Game, and then wrong warp. So that means we'll basically, hey, there's the Greatsword, so we're missing the Great Axe from the Black Knights. So So essentially what I'm trying to say is that I will just go to get the second soul from the ONS fight. And then I essentially just have some stuff to do in New Londo and in Darkroot. And that's pretty much it, so. But the goal is to not repeat anything. And that's why you split things up in New Game and New Game Plus. So here we will go ahead and perform this skip again so that we don't have to ring the bells. This is the Sense Gate skip. I aggro this hollow, bait him, parry and riposte in a specific place, which triggers this death cam. It doesn't kill me because there are two different planes. One of them that kills the character, one of them that activates the death cam. While the death cam is active, nothing loads or reloads. Because assets to areas load later than the areas themselves, the start of Sense Fortress is loaded while the gate is not. So I'll be able to just get in there without ringing the bells. Again, to reset everything back to normal, I will go ahead and just jump into the fortress and then quit out. And now essentially what the goal is here is to get to ONS. So that means we have to run through here. We have to kill Iron Golem again. Of course, there's a skip for Iron Golem, which is really scuffed. And really hard to get, and also requires a force code afterwards. So it's not something that we can do. And it's not something that would be desirable, because it's faster to just fight him. Even though it's New Game Plus. Here we're not actually, because we have the firepower, we're not gonna get him to fall off like we did in New Game. Instead, I'm gonna time my power within so that it lines up with RTSR. And then I should be able to just kill him with 3 soul spears. First, however, I will do a quit out here to reset the boulder. Otherwise it will hit me, which is not fast. And earlier I dodged this trap, but right now I'm gonna jump into it on purpose to take the damage. Jumping into it also ensures that you get a counter hit, which is exactly the damage that I need. I'll lightly ask the snake to get out of the way with a little backhand. And I will be casting power within in a pretty specific place, because if I cast it too early, I'm probably gonna die before I can kill Golem. If I cast it too late, I'm not gonna have RTSR activated, which is not something we want. Also, one thing I haven't mentioned, even though I've been using it throughout the run, of course I'm using the Twin Crystal Catalyst along with the regular Sorcerer's Catalyst. The TCC is really good because it increases your damage, but at the same time it halves the amount of spellcast you have. Of course, in this game you do not have FP or on mana points essentially, which you do have in like Demon Souls and DS3 and DS2. Instead, you have an absolute amount of casts. So depending on the situation, I'll be using one or the other catalyst, depending on if I need the extra damage. I didn't drop that. Or if I need the extra casts. So here I need the damage. And he's gone. It's also really nice because I can just kill him right from where the ring spawns. Right, so there's some stuff I want to drop actually, and that's these 2 rings that are not necessary. I forgot to drop them in the asylum, but that's no biggie. Again, I just want to clean up my inventory so that my menuing is actually smoother. Here I quit out because I need to get rid of the power within, since I need to put on full control in order to full control quit out down this elevator. And then I'm gonna go back to our trusted and tested strategy of using 2 shields on the rafters and hopefully not get wrecked. Again, if you haven't caught the first explanation of the full control quit out, having full control activated essentially gives you a different splatter animation. This different animation basically the animation isn't connected to the damage being dealt to you. And this splatter animation, yeah, it doesn't deal damage. So what needs to happen is you need to be on the ground after dying for a certain amount of time for the game to deal damage to you. But it takes long enough so that I can actually quit out on time with my position being stored on the bottom, but without the damage being dealt. And that way I can essentially survive almost any fall in the game. So first Painting Guardian, pretty chill. Second Painting Guardian, well, I got to show you why you want to have the shield there. Push him out of the way like that. And what I'll be doing here, you might be wondering why I'm not performing the same skip that I performed in New Game. Well, the reason for that is fairly simple. I want to get the ONS Bonfire. Not only would I want it for safety, but I need to get it so that I get my casts back. So I get Power Within back, so I get Soul Spears back. Otherwise, I basically wouldn't have enough casts for the fight, or it would be like a lot slower. So the skip itself saves a little bit of time, the Silver Knight Archer skip. But it's mainly useful if you need to talk to the giant blacksmith, which I will be doing later, but I don't need to do it right now. I have to roll his attack. See if we get any spears. No spear here. Again, this is New Game Plus, so these enemies deal a decent amount of damage, so I want to make sure that I don't get hit. Same with the Silver Knight Archers here. Alright, he's gonna fall off. Just nice like that. Very cool. So I'm gonna get the ONS Bonfire, and then we're gonna head over to fight ONS on New Game Plus, which can be quite a bit of a meme. New Game ONS went very well. Well, not very well, but went well enough, all things considered. So we'll see how New Game Plus treats us. This time, I have to go ahead and kill Ornstein second. So that means, in order to get his soul. So that means I will be killing Smo first. Which, that in itself can be a meme. And then Ornstein, Super Ornstein in Phase 2 is a much bigger memer than Smo in Phase 2. So hopefully it'll be fine. I'll cast Power Within for the fight. And let's see what opener we get. In New Game Plus, getting Lightning is actually pretty good. Compared to New Game. We got a walk-in opener, so we go to the right. Okay, he's gonna shovel. This will stagger. Let's see what Ornstein's doing. He's gonna hit me. But that's fine. I take the trade. RTSR, there we go. RTSR activated for the last Soul Spear, which gave me extra damage, and as such I didn't need another spell after that. That was amazing. That was really good. So, you heard that I shut up there? That is because I wanted to, yeah, focus a little bit more on the fight. So here, in New Game, we talk to Guinevere. In New Game Plus, for variety and speed, we actually shoot her. Obviously, I still need to get the Lord Vessel, because this is New Game Plus. So I lost it. And now we're gonna go to Dark Root. What did I just equip? Nice. That's no big deal. Swap it for the Pyroflame. And second to last farming section is gonna be coming up, so we'll see how it goes with the stone set. So what I need is to get the Stone Greatsword and Great Shield from the Stone Guardians. You can technically, if I progress Shiva's questline, or if I progress Shiva to get to Blighttown, I could buy the Great Sword from him there. But I mean, that would be quite slow, so we don't do that. So we're just gonna have to be killing the Guardians for the 8% chance of getting the drops. This is the third out of the 4 farming sections. The last one is getting the Black Knight Great Axe from the one more Black Knight with the axe that we will kill in this run. Of course, also I need to get a Butterfly Soul in order to get the Moonlight Butterfly Horn for the Knight's Honor achievement. We quit out here, not just to skip the animation of opening the forest, but also to reset the demonic foliages, as they are called officially, that are pursuing us, because of course if there are enemies close enough, I wouldn't be able to rest at this bonfire. So we're gonna go for a couple of cycles. I don't know for how many, again, before we actually capitulate and surrender and give ourselves the items. Actually, can you let me know where we are with time now, Dick?
We are currently at about 2 hours and 3 minutes.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Do we have some time for donations?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, perfect. We have quite a few donations actually. So first of all, we have $20 from Anonymous. And then we have another $20 from Darts2Z saying, "Let's go Speed Souls."
Hell yeah. Thank you for the donations, guys.
And then we have $50 donation from ShadowCon saying, "Thank you so much for everyone contributing to this wonderful event. Something I look forward to every year. Everyone coming together for a common goal and having fun doing it. Deck, please don't shave." I'll think about that. And then we have another $20 donation from Foxy Jira saying, "No items gasp."
Alright, so we actually got the shield there, which is kind of neat. So we only need the greatsword. So we're looking like might go a little bit underestimate, which will put us back on track, which is great. With the schedule, I mean. So we get the butterfly here, get the soul, and now let's see how long it takes to get this sword. So here, for example, I was talking about selecting the different catalysts for different situations. Here, I want to be using the Sorcerer's Catalyst, because I can still basically one-shot these guys with a regular Soul Spear, as you can see. So I don't need the extra damage from the Tin Crystal Catalyst. But I would not have enough spellcast to actually kill all of these enemies, all of these trees, and all of these Stone Guardians. I also missed this tree again. No drops. Like, I don't understand, dude. Like, look, he's got a shield, he's got a sword, and they're gone all of a sudden. I always say that they're probably ID locked or something, some insane Lorgen technology that doesn't allow me to even pick it up from the floor. Except for this one. Well, that was really fast. I wish I got that in my PB. Though I guess that doesn't really matter, because my PB mainly lost time on the Black Knights at the end. Yeah, that was really good. So we had bad Trident, bad Silver Knights, but good Stone set. So here now the goal is to go ahead and kill Hydra so we can summon Dusk. We do not want to get to the DLC. There are no achievements tied to the DLC. In previous routes before Homewood Wrong Warp was available, you still did the DLC in order to be able to Wrong Warp with the Purple Couch Crystal. We don't need to do that anymore. But I need to summon Dusk so I can buy all the sorceries from her. Here I'll set up RTSR by equipping the Hubble Great Shield midair. This gets me heavy enough so that I take enough damage. Because the more stuff you have equipped, the more weight low you have, the more fall damage you take. Alright, killing Hydra requires full Soul Spears with the TCC here on New Game Plus. We got ASMI Hydra, got no sounds. There's another remaster special. That's 3 heads, 1 more. Oh, I missed. Very cool. Alright, well. I missed because, like, I cast it too early since I couldn't hear when Hydra was attacking. It was pretty funny. But yeah, it's dead right now. There we go. And now we need to kill this Golden Golem, and he's tanky AF on New Game Plus, so hopefully we don't get trolled. I'm gonna use the Crystal Soul Mass, and I'm also gonna use Crystal Soul Spears. He will be able to jump or not to jump. I kind of hope I get the jump, I'll try to bait it out and then move out of range. Okay, he's not jumping. That should stagger. Don't jump. Okay. He can not only jump to attack me, but he can also jump to dodge spells, kind of like Ornstein. But fortunately, he didn't troll us there. It's definitely worth playing it safe this late into the run, instead of actually having to deal with some shenanigans. So now I have to head over to the other side of the lake in order to summon Dusk. What I'll try to do, and Dusk has several spawn points actually, different summon points. And it's RNG which one you get. I'm gonna equip the SDR so that one of the golems doesn't hear me. And the other one, with this spawn point, I can actually approach it from such a place that he will not aggro, which is great. Because you don't want to aggro the golem and then have him hit Dusk, like that guy there. Because you need to talk to her and buy the sorceries. And if you get interrupted, he can even kill Dusk, and that would be obviously quite awful, because you wouldn't be able to get those sorceries anymore. Well, it's too late, mate. You saw me now, but it's a little bit too late for that. So now we will go ahead and head over to Sif. We have to also discover Alvina's Covenant. On the way. You don't have to join it, just need to get the prompt to join it. And of course, since we need Kath and we need to join his Covenant, we need to kill Sif and also 4 kings. Killing Sif is necessary, not just for the soul. Oh, I joined the Covenant anyway, well. That's fine. I'm a cat now. Really put the cat in kata. But yeah, I need to kill Sif, of course, to get the Covenant of Artorias as well. Hello, mushrooms. Now, the sound effect there is quite good. Meow, meow. Alright, so I'm gonna use Power Within while I'm waiting for this gate to open. I'm also gonna use the Soul Mass. And hopefully Sif will go okay. First though, I'm gonna make sure that I equip the Falchion, because I'm gonna need to use the Falchion on 4 kings in order to set up the health bar there correctly and be able to do the fight in just 2 cycles instead of more. But you'll get to see that once I get there. Before that, we will still have a very scary place, the Ghost House, but let's not get ahead of ourselves and do this fight before. Looking good so far. Awesome. Alright, that was good. So that's Sif. Of course, we get the achievement here. And now what I need to do is... So there's a way, obviously, there's Seal Skip. So there's a way to get to 4 kings without having to drain New Londo. And I will be not draining New Londo. But I still need to go to Ingward because that asshole sells literally 1 sorcery. It's the last sorcery that I'm missing right now for the All Sorcery achievement. And getting to Ingward is quite scary with the ghosts. So we'll see. Okay. So I'm gonna again drop all the items I don't need anymore because they would be in the way while I'm upgrading. So rip all the Black Knight swords that were up for a giveaway. Well, they're in New Londo right now, okay? You can go pick them up until I quit out. Hey, I was obliged to kill it, okay? Sif, I mean. I joined the Cat Covenant as a warfare. Have you never seen Tom and Jerry? Serious stuff. Now, I must say that as an adult, I saw Tom and Jerry, well, a while ago, but I saw it as an adult. And I was getting insanely triggered by what Jerry was able to get away with. As a kid, I was like, let's go, Jerry. And now I'm like, poor Tom. Alright, let's get around these ghosts. These ghosts are chill, right? These are not part of the big ghost house yet. But the thing is, this ghost house right there, you know, there's Ingward up there. This one is the scary one. So what I'll do is I'll run around first to try and get the ghosts to aggro on me and try to pull them away from the ladder that we need to climb. That will hit me, that's fine, I'll be healing up. Okay, let's heal up once, twice. Go as far away from them as possible. And I pull them out of this room, essentially. And yeah, we should be fine now, hopefully. Okay, we're good. Great. So that's nice. I'm gonna talk to Ingward. And buy the sorcery that I talked about. As you can see, Wisdom of a Sage. Got that achievement. And now I need to head over and get the Ember here. And I need to go to Four Kings. So that's what we will do. First, I will cast Fall Control to not take damage from this fall. And also I have to perform a Fall Control quit out to get past the seal, essentially. I don't know what the bulldog's name was. Was it Craig? Not quite sure. I like the bulldog though. I guess the episodes that I liked the most as a kid were the ones where Tom and Jerry in the end actually cooperated. So here, thanks to Fall Control, again, the game's trying to kill me because of the death cam, and I'm on flat ground. It's similar as in Analondo, but thanks to Fall Control, it doesn't actually happen. Was it Spike? That sounds more like it than Craig. Yeah, I was gonna say that Regal was probably trolling. So another Full Control quit out. Now we're gonna be approaching the Four Kings, and essentially, Four Kings are a little bit peculiar in a way where you can kill the individual king, right? But not kill the entire like boss fight. The boss fight doesn't end. And this is because they have both a cumulative and an individual health bar. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to hit the individual king as much as possible without killing him. And then in this game, you can also damage enemies as they are dying, essentially. Normally that doesn't do anything, but in this fight, it will allow me to damage the cumulative health bar. And if I do it properly, I should be able to finish the fight in just 2 kings spawning instead of 4. So first I'll drop the big hat. Then I cast Power Within. Put on Soul Mass. 4 two-handed R1s with the Falchion. Press Shield, block this. Dodge this. And now Soul Mass and Soul Spears. And as you can see, now the king is dying and I'm still dealing damage to the cumulative health bar. Great. First king went awesome. The second king will always spawn at the same time. So unless I just take too long on the first king, we will be good. And hopefully he doesn't dodge here, because he can dodge. But if he doesn't, it's going to be a very fast fight. He didn't dodge. Amazing. Boom. Easy clap. Defeat the Four Kings achievement obtained. That was really good. That was a really good fight. That's as good as it can go. Here, I need to make sure I don't say no to Kath, because that would essentially kill the run. Because I would have to go to New Game Plus 2. So let's make sure we don't do that. And now I'm going to go ahead and enter his Covenant to get the Dark Hand. And also, obviously, get the Covenant achievement, which I will get just by discovering it. But I need the Dark Hand for the Knight's Honor achievement, so we do that. Then we get warped, and we will go to Andre, and here I'm gonna ascend my spear. And I'm also gonna dupe the souls that I have. So this is a different way of duping. Excuse me. Than we've done so far. So we used Fram to dupe first. With the bottomless box. Here, what I'm gonna do is shenanigans to store a negative quantity, and then I'm gonna manipulate, thanks to prompt swap, I'm gonna manipulate that negative quantity into a drop prompt. So I'm gonna drop a negative amount of an item. Okay, watch this. See? Boom. Sif Soul dropped. Negative amount of it. What does that mean? It means that instead of dropping anything on the ground, besides an invalid item, it instead tries to subtract a negative number from my inventory, which means it actually gives me that item. So that way I'm able to dupe the souls. Very neat. Essentially what I'm doing there is I'm buying a very heavy longsword thanks to prom swap. I don't want to go into too much detail. Again, I actually have a video on my channel about that, just like with the Homeward Wrong Warp, if you want to know more. But essentially, I'm buying a longsword with an inherent quantity of 999. And then when you try to purchase another one, the game does a calculation to determine how many of them you should be able to buy. And it calculates 1 minus 999, so you get negative 998 stored in the memory. And then thanks to prom swap, I can navigate that into the drop prompt and dropped a negative amount of an item. Okay, last upgrading. One more time to jam, brothers and sisters. So here, I'm not just gonna upgrade all of the stuff that I have, but I'm also gonna, this is the time to go ahead and ascend stuff. And then, in order to preserve the Gwyn soul, because I need to use it for both, you saw that I didn't dupe it, I duped the Sif soul and the butterfly soul. In order to preserve the Gwyn soul, I will use prom swap again while ascending, which will basically allow me to get the great sword, Gwyn's great sword, and keep the soul at the same time, so I can offer it at the Sunlight Covenant as well.
Do we have time for a couple of donations?
Yeah, go for it.
Perfect. So we have a $1.07 donation from QQ saying, buying the kids their daily McChicken. And then we have a $10 donation from Flowers of Boredom saying, save the children, great cause and great runs. I'm really proud of this community. Can't wait to see the first Elden Ring speedruns next year. Praise the sun, greetings from Hungary, go Speed Souls.
Thank you so much. Also, don't worry, these donations are going to much better causes than McChicken. Like building hospitals for kids and, you know, getting medicine for them and stuff like that. So don't listen to QQ, okay? Please keep on donating towards a great cause. Okay, so that was that. We got all of the stuff that we needed, I think. We ascended all the boss weapons that we needed. And here, I will offer the Sunlight Medals. And I will also offer the Gwyn Soul, which should give us another achievement. This one for Miracles. And then I will perform another Wrong Warp to get into the kiln. Hopefully. Again, this is frame perfect stuff. Okay, that should be good. So essentially, what I need to do, what I need to ensure happening there is cast Homeward so that I'm taken to my last bonfire, which is Firelink Altar, and then cancel that animation and rest at a different bonfire while that warp is happening, which causes the game to trigger the wrong warp. And I get wrong warped to a failsafe location, which for the area of Firelink Altar, which is my last bonfire, is behind the closed gate to Kiln. So that's the long story short, I suppose. The frame perfect part of it is having to do the spell swap glitch, which allows me to well, let me actually cast power within here, which allows me to cast Homeward with the animation of a fireball. All right, so we are missing the Great Axe. 45% chance of getting it. I don't know why I'm trying to pick that up. I just wanted to get rid of that guy so I wouldn't have to deal with him. 45%. If you don't get it, I have to go ahead and do the wrong warp again and run through Kiln again. Of course, I'm gonna do that only a limited amount of times. And then all that we'll be missing is just the second ending. Okay, well, let's try this again. 45% didn't work in our favor. So now I have to go back to the Abyss. And I'm gonna have to take, or rather talk to Kat to take me to Firelink Altar again, because I need that to be my last bonfire. Let's look at it that way. At least you might get to see the wrong warp again. However, I'm more comfortable with the parish wrong warp, so I will go ahead and go to Undead Parish and perform it there. Oh, nice. Queued up punch. That was not good. That was a bad jump. So the reason I'm doing it off of this railing again is to be able to cancel out the animation by falling, and then I rest at the bonfire just before I get warped, and I'm in the kill. You don't want to see the wrong warp again, Regal? Just look away. Alright, let's try this again. If you don't get it, I'm gonna try for the third time, because third time's the charm, as my world record has proven. This is where I lost most of my time in my newly acquired sub 2 hour run that I got on Monday. I was basically on like about 155 pace, and then I had to get the halberd. And first I didn't get anything, then I got a shield, and then the third time I actually got the halberd and also the sub 2, just barely. And sub 2 might not sound that important, but to me it wasn't just sub 2. To me it meant freedom. And freedom feels heckin' good. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna kill him yet. Okay, I did. I'm gonna get rid of him so he doesn't actually bother me. Alright, let's see. BKGA second time, 45%. Come on, I see it in your right hand, dude. Oh, you a-hole. Okay, one last time. If he doesn't drop it, I'll just give myself the axe. I mean, I'll obtain it through other means. Yeah, I'll just discover it on the floor as with other drops in this run. Have you just tried taking it from him before he dies? It's not about whether he drops it or not. It's about whether we are lucky or unlucky, whether the weapon is ID locked or not, right? Like, I don't know, fingerprint based or something. There we go. Got the wrong warp again. Let's see, third time's the charm, or maybe not. Exclamation mark teams, I believe, is the command for the relays. Like, bully him for it? I'm no bully, okay? I'm a nice guy. I'm the nicest guy that you will find in this community. Funniest as well.
We've got a $5 donation, by the way, from Dummy, saying, Miyazaki Cold needs a $5 for Black Knight Great Axe to drop. You're welcome. I tried to convince him to donate for the kids, but no luck at the hands.
Thank you so much, Dummy. I appreciate it. Well, let's see if that's the case. You're not fat, Fraser, you're just big. Hey, the $5. Let's go. So that's, as you can see, Knight's Honor, the most annoying achievement. We got it. We have Power Within activated for Gwyn. I'll start with Soma so that I can actually stagger him, and then I will get, well, nice Soul Mass that didn't hit at all. Alright, get ready on time, because I'll be Link in the fire and getting the last achievement. If Dark Souls shows up, we got everything. 3, 2, 1, time. Well, I need to skip the cutscene, but let's watch it first. That's when you get the achievement. But I want to see the ending at least, so that there's some closure. Very cool. Amazing. Literally just use pyromancies the entire run, and then like you touch a bonfire, and all of a sudden you know, make everything explode. Yeah, interesting. And boom, we got it. All achievements. As you can see, 41 out of 41. This is how you do it, guys. Why is there no music playing? That's interesting. There's supposed to be outro music here, but there's none. Well, at least I can't hear it. But maybe it's because I was messing around with the echo and trying to eliminate it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the run. This was Dark Souls Remastered, all achievements. Of course, we are not done yet. I mean, we are done with this run, but there's so many good other runs coming up. I myself have 2 more that I'll be participating in. So this is not the last time you see me or hear me. But until then, please keep on enjoying the marathon, keep on supporting the great cause and cheering us runners on. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Thank you for having me.